ESG, Architecture and Deployment. This video explains the architecture of Websense ESG deployment on Websense V10K Applaince running in web and email security mode. Websense Email Security Gateway helps to scan the enterprise SMTP traffic. Every message, inbound, outbound, or internal mail within enterprise can be scanned by robust set of virus, spam, and URL filters to prevent the infected mails in the organization. Customer content filtering policies can be enforced on these mails based on enterprise requirement. In addition to this, full-fledged Websense DLP model is tightly integrated to prevent data loss in email communication. This diagram explains the architecture outline. It comprises of the following components: Triton Management Server, V10K Applaince, and then the required mail server and the client systems, which is connected to the all these are connected to the internet. Let me explain the component one by one. Triton Management Server. The Triton Management Server is a term used to refer to the machine on which Triton Unified Security Center is installed. This machine is used to manage the Websense deployment. It includes Triton infrastructure and required unified security module. In our case, this is email and data security modules. The data security module of Triton Unified Security Center works with Websense Applaince to provide email DLP, the data loss prevention feature. The Triton Management Server often includes email security log server component. This log server passes the information to the SQL Server reporting database, which hosts the email security log database for use in generating dashboard, charts, and reports. Microsoft SQL Server running on Windows Server in your network will host email security log database, which is used to store Websense logging and reporting data and some of the email security settings, and quarantine email also stored here. When installing Websense components, SQL Server must be installed and running, typically on its own machine. SQL Server Express, which can be installed along with the Triton Unified Security Setup, may be used in the place of a SQL Server. However, it's best practice to use SQL Server Express only in non-production or evaluation environment. SQL servers may be installed on Triton Management Server or on a dedicated server. For optimal performance, Websense recommends the SQL Server be installed on a separate dedicated machine. Also, the sizing of the SQL servers is based upon the number of users and the data requirement, how long we need to retain the data. Typically, for a network more than 500 users, it's highly recommended to use a SQL Standard or Enterprise. Vseries Applaince. Email security provides comprehensive on-premise security hosted on a Websense Vseries Applaince, V10,000 or a V5000. Email security management functions resides on a separate Windows service. Triton Unified Center is managing this. Mail server and clients. We don't need to install any component in the mail server or in the client system. Administrator need to just configure to route the SMTP traffics via ESG Applaince. Email flow, there are three mail flows are involved. Inbound mail, mail coming from the internet or received by the appliance. These mails are scanned and clean mails are delivered to the mail server, which is later accessed by the end user. Outbound mail, the mail from users reaches the mail server. Administrator will configure smart host as a ESG, which scans the mail, and clean mail will be delivered to the internet by ESG Applaince. Intranet mail. Enterprise security policy decides scanning of an internal mails by the ESG Applaince. Users configure their mail clients to use ESG Applaince as an outbound SMTP server. And the mails will be received from the mail server directly. So mail created by the users are scanned and clean mail only will be forwarded to the mail server. How to deploy the ESG at customer environment? We'll follow the below installation sequence. Configure Applaince using first boot, then assign the IP, date and time parameters, configuration using the GUI. Here it's critically important, every component that's involved in the ESG should synchronize with the date and time. It's advisable to use the enterprise NTP server to sync the date and time with all these devices. Then we'll be installing the SQL server or a SQL Express. Then on the machines we'll be running the Triton management server. After installation of the Triton management server, installation of the ESG module and log service plugin will be installed. Then finally we'll be installing the data security suite module in the Triton server. And in the coming videos, we'll be talking about these topics one by one. Thank you.